Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading. And today is January 5th, 2024, and today is Friday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, tech giants continue to tumble. But first, looking at today's major economic events. So we have two events coming out at 3:30 South African time. Out of Canada, an employment change number coming out, and out of the United States, NFP, Non-Farm Payroll number coming out. That is a big number. Now looking at the various markets going into these numbers, starting out with the Forex symbols, the major pairs really tapering just lower, and the Japanese yen continued to slide versus the dollar. Now when we looked at the indices, the Dow Jones continues to taper lower, but the NASDAQ much more aggressive and selling off. Now looking at commodities, both gold and oil, really unchanged. And as we look at the stocks, the biggest losers on the block was Amazon and Apple. Now lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin remains unchanged. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go. First with the Euro USD, just to make a point here, it's really unchanged. We're in like a 10 to 15 pip range. And this is really on the back of FOMC not changing interest rates and kind of saying that they're going to taper off, but really nothing going on in the Forex markets except, okay, and this is the one, Japanese yen continue to get weaker versus the dollar. That is crossing a major threshold of the 30-day moving average. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to just spike in it and then come out of it, but this is really important because it's the third day that it's doing this, that it's making this correction, and the question is whether or not it's going to be sustainable, and are we making a decisive change? We're going to be back to our lows. That's what I'd be focused here to look at. Now looking at gold and oil, really not doing much. 2044 today really didn't change much. And as we look at the Dow Jones, really just tapering lower just a little bit, 37,700, 300 points off of our all-time highs. However, the NASDAQ is another story. Looking at the daily, we continue to tumble, and we're crossing over the 30-day moving average here, and that's really important. So the question is whether or not we're going to bounce today, and my expectations is that we are going to bounce. The question is how much. Now, which stocks are taking us down? So if we look, Apple's the biggest loser. I mean, it continued to gap down for a second day. That is showing some tremendous weakness. And if we look at Amazon also, very weak here, as that also pushed lower and gapped down and sold off lower. Now we are at supportish level. Question is whether or not we're going to cross it over or we're going to bounce off of these levels. Now I expected this. We expected some profit taking into the first week of January, and we are in an election year, and things are going to start cooking up when it comes to the elections, and it's a little undecisive time for everybody. Now looking at JP Morgan though, strong like a rock. Only $1.50 off of its all-time record highs. That's it. It's on its highs. And so it's kind of stock specific right now. Facebook also didn't sell off that much, but the semiconductors did. Okay, AMD continued to tumble this week, which was the strongest stock. Did get a green bar yesterday, so a little bit of a consolidation. So I'm looking for that bounce. Let's see if we get it. And if we do get it, how far are we going to go? We're going to make a double top, or we're going to make a lower high? That's what's at stake here. But the question is how much we're going to bounce at these levels. And that's what I'd be betting about today, especially if we get some positive news from the non-farm payroll. Lastly, looking at Bitcoin, really unchanged. Okay, it's trading with this really tight range, and it might break out, but until it does, it's really not a trade. So let's expect the unexpected here for Bitcoin. This is Razak. I want to wish everybody a great trading day. Thank you.